Hello everyone, welcome to Amy's Bookshelf. Welcome to a read-along announcement. So for the last couple years, we have done a group read-along of a really big classic. The first year we did Les Mis, the second year we did The Count of Monte Cristo, which was last year. This year we're doing Bleak House by Charles Dickens. So we are doing this in a very similar fashion as we did the last couple years. This will be done in a way that you can join us every 2 weeks for live shows and discussion about sections. But because there are significantly less pages in this than there are in Les Mis and The Count of Monte Cristo, we're gonna actually do this a little bit of a smaller breakdown. The first 8 weeks will have about 100 pages a week. So yes, it's still a lot, but you can do it. I believe in you. Then the last week will have, I think it's about 100 pages as well, 80 pages. And we're gonna do a 2-week block so you can catch up on the last 2 weeks if you are a little bit behind or life happens, whatever. We are all, I'm speaking for my co-hosts, we all have lives and we all have things going on. So we are aware that things happen. So speaking of my co-hosts, we have Janelle from Too Fond of Books. We have Victoria from A Musical Bookworm, and Christy Lewis from Christy Lewis, Dostoevsky in Space. So we have those 3 co-hosts and myself. All the live shows will be on my channel though. I'll leave the schedule down below. So we'll be reading this one. Now, if you're curious about the breakdown, we're reading the first 14 chapters for the first 2 weeks, and we're starting like July 1st, essentially. So our first live show will be on July 15th, and that will be where we talk about the first 14 chapters. It will obviously contain spoilers, themes. I've never read it. None of us hosts have ever read Bleak House before, so this will be a new book to all of us, as opposed to the last couple of years. So this will be a really fun time, I hope, and I expect it to be. Then the second week, or the second time, I think it's July 29th, is going to be chapters 15 to 28. Then the next one, which is the second week in August, if not, look down below for the specific dates. It'll be the 29th chapter to the 43rd. Then the next one will be 43rd chapter to the 59th. And then 60th chapter to the end for our final date in September. So it should give you a good amount of time to catch up throughout the process, at least at the end of the time. And that way we can also have not only a discussion about the characters and the climax and the end of the story and whatever else, but we can also talk about our overall feelings, how we interpret different things, whatever else. So we can have a fully encompassing discussion at the very end of our 10-week schedule. So this should be quite an accomplishment. Maybe not as much of an accomplishment as Les Mis, but I think it's still going to be an accomplishment. I don't know about you, but Dickens is hard for me to pick up on my own, and just as is. Something about him just is intimidating to me, and I'm excited to pick up Bleak House. I had read it before years ago for a read-a-thon or read-along that Katie from Books and Things was running, and I just never continued, and I was enjoying it. So let's read it together, find out all that happens. From my understanding, this is about an inheritance that is somehow, it's not clear who's getting it. So the money is getting tied up in the courts, and the money is slowly dwindling with all the lawyer fees. It's, I think, a mystery I've heard. This is really a book about everything, but it was definitely about an inheritance and something about all these cast of characters who are trying to get the money, especially 3 young people, I believe, 2 of whom were a brother and sister. I might be wrong. It's been a while since I read the first 90 pages. 90 pages. But it should be really fun to discover together, and I hope you join us for this journey of Bleak House. So please let me know down below in the comments if you will join us for Bleak House, or if you've read it before and will reread it, or just join us for the live shows. I'd love to know. Also, if you would give this video a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe, as well as subscribing to my co-hosts, as we all will be reading this together. I mean, we'll be discussing it on my channel, but we'll all be reading it, and we all tend to really enjoy big classics to a certain extent, but we all do enjoy reading classics and sometimes big books too. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining, like I said, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
In a house that I don't know